So now I can't I can't remember season 1 of the originals per se, but having just watched season 2, and see, this is the thing about watching the season a year. Even if you do it in a day, you can remember the season, but you might not remember the prior seasons. I mean, there's been a couple shows that's taken me 3 episodes to remember. Oh, yeah, I've seen this before. Anyways, I like the originals. It's funny. It's that, funny kind of funny, but it's got the weird, really trying to be serious funny. And like many of these relatively low-budget dramas, because unions have sucked all the money out of TV production and forced 87 people to do a single job, but they have to do different parts of it. One person to plug in a plug, one person to unplug a plug, and that's all you can do. You get paid 16 hours pay to sit there all day to unplug a plug once, because a union says that only you can unplug plugs. But that's another story. We're here to talk about acting and scripts and visual authenticity. Now, yeah, there's a lot of fun in there, but there's also a lot of, excuse me, the same old, we make the same mistakes every week because that's all the writers are smart enough to do. Oh, let's just sit here and look at each other for 30 seconds because the writers can't fill this time. Oh, and then there's, the biggest drawback of this series is Phoebe Tonkin. She is pathetic. I mean, she's cute. And I liked her on the mermaid thing. She looked great with a tail. And that actually is quite literal. Anyways, yeah, she just basically looks lost in her character at all times. And her faking just looks like she's wildly flailing. So they cut really fast away so you can't see how pathetic she is. How unmasterful of her own physical abilities. Never mind her delivery of lines, and the expression on her face looks like she's got a knife stuck in her back. Kind of stuff. I mean, everyone else is sort of enveloped in their characters, and they can make them somewhat believable, if not completely stupid at most times. And then there's the teary-eyed, oh my goodness, we've lived for 1,000 years. Oh, and we know that death doesn't mean anything because people keep coming back from the death, but I'm going to sit here and cry. If I can't do this in 5 minutes, I'll never get it done. Oh my goodness. Kind of stuff. It's just there. I mean, and what I really love this. All the bad people take turns. And this is, you see this in every action show. You got 7 villains, but they don't all attack at the same time in their own ways, and they're not all active simultaneously. They just wait. And this is, oh no, it's mommy's turn this week. I get the script says I'm next week. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna not be here. And maybe I'll have used this time in the future to have prepared some major thing. I'll be like planting locusts somewhere so that they'll pop out and help my plan along. And then, how everything is always doomed to fail until the end. But that's just drama, and we're not expecting rocket science here. And it's a good thing. It's entertaining. Within the limitations, they're not really changing their rules of the game every week, like you see with a lot of stories, because they hire 17 writers and 6 directors, and each director sees the project their own way, and there's no need for continuity because it's my episode kind of stuff. But you don't really see that as much. I mean, you know, and as you notice, I don't give spoilers. I'm not going to tell you who's dead or who's alive. And we know there's no such thing as dead in television. We learned that 50 years ago in soap operas. The mythos, they do get a little weird, and there's always something new to discover because, of course, nobody ever, talks. They just sort of yell at each other and sort of give each other like 2 sentences about the next page, but they never really, I mean, seriously, you'd think that if they actually did things the way that they should be done in the script, I mean, this entire 2 seasons, like 44 episodes or something like that, could have actually been accomplished in a 90-minute movie. Everything that happened with complete plausibility and without hyper-speeding it could have been accomplished in 1.5 hours, maybe a 2-hour movie. I mean, but it is plausible that it could happen. And the rest of it's just fluff and filler. Okay? It's like when they put wood chips in the mashed potatoes because they didn't have enough potatoes.